Shalom YouTube, welcome to my channel Holistic Living, where I talk about living life holistically. Holistically meaning strengthening the mind, body, and the spirit, strengthening the mind through the reading and studying of the Most High's Word, which is His laws, statutes, and commandments, strengthening the body through, of course, physical exercise and the consumption of cellular foods. Now, in the last episode, what do you think about this scripture, which is episode 6? I spoke about whether or not the laws, statutes, and commandments are done away with. In this episode, which is episode 7, I'll be talking about fasting, the physical benefits of fasting, the things that go on within the body of fasting, just coming from a biological standpoint, just scientific, just things that people have did research on regarding fasting. It talks about what goes on within the body. And then I'll also be coming from a spiritual standpoint as well. I'll be looking into some of the scriptures of where our forefathers fasted and the reasoning behind why they fasted. Okay, so, but before I get into the scriptures or go into any of the benefits from a prolonged fast, I want to talk about my experience with fasting. You know what I'm saying? Just some of the do's and the don'ts that I've learned through over the years. And just talk about some of the things that I've learned from fasting, because it definitely teaches you things about yourself. So let's just talk about the do's and the don'ts. So one thing I learned that you don't want to do is start too fast. You know what I mean? You don't want to start too quick with fasting. You really want to take your time. So like for me, when I first started fasting, matter of fact, let's talk about why I got into fasting. Because it was at a time when I came across Dr. Sebi. You know what I'm saying? I was really wanting to make that transition, wanting to be healthier, you know what I'm saying? So I remember coming across his videos, his lectures online, and it definitely sparked something in me to start getting on that health kick. Plus, there was a lot of illness going on in my family and stuff. I even had my own issues where I had to go up under the needle. You know what I'm saying? So I was ready to start doing better as far as health goes. But yeah, I went on. It wasn't really a fast. It was more like an intermittent fast, I guess you could say, with Sebi. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, but so basically, I went to the website and I got this stuff called, I think it's called Bromide Plus, and I think it has bladderwrack and sea moss in it. And if you know about sea moss, it said that it has like 92 of the 100 something minerals that the body is naturally made up of. I believe it might have more than that, but it has a lot of minerals and vitamins in it. It's good for your body, whatever. So what I would do, if I remember correctly, because it's been so long since I did that little fast of his, but I think it was like when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I would consume was that, and I would do it in a tea. And the thing about sea moss, it curbs your appetite a little bit. So I would take the tea and I would wait. I don't know how many hours it was, maybe about 8 hours maybe, and then I would eat. But the only thing we could eat was stuff like, it was like a salad. It was a real light salad. It didn't hardly have nothing in it. So after the salad, we wouldn't eat nothing else for the rest of the night. You know what I mean? So I did that for, I don't know how long it was that we had to do it. Maybe it was like, maybe three weeks, almost 4 weeks, almost a month. But that got me used to not eating so much, you know what I'm saying? It was a certain window. But after I finished doing that little intermittent fasting of Sebi's, I remember I never went back to eating the way I used to. I mean, every now and then I would dibble and dabble, but I really stayed on the plant-based type of lifestyle. And it wasn't 100% plant-based. It was more like 85% because I was still touching salmon every now and then, you know what I mean? But that's what I was doing for the most part. So I lost my train of thought. So yeah, I did the plant-based for a little bit. Y'all know where I'm at now. I'm basically on fruitarianism, but not 100%, more like 85%, because I don't mess with meat, nothing like that, but there are other things that I still be messing with, like cookies and stuff like that. So I ain't gonna say I'm 100% fruitarian. I don't even really like giving titles to it no more. I just try to eat really clean. I try to consume cellular foods because I'm a cellular being, you know what I mean? But anyway, before I get off topic, so I did that for a while. Started getting to the plant-based lifestyle. And then I got to the point I wanted to start fasting because I used to see in the scriptures where we used to fast all the time. And I've heard a lot of good things about fasting. So when I started out fasting, I didn't start doing it with like fasting for a day or nothing like that. I fasted for a few hours. So when I woke up, I would fast I wouldn't eat for 8 hours from the time I woke up. And then when I ate, it would be, of course, plant-based stuff. So I just did that until my body got used to waking up and not eating for 8 hours. And then once I got used to that, I added a couple more hours on. So like now I'm at like 10 hours, then it got to 12. And eventually my body got so used to it, I got to 24. So now I'm doing a full day fast, right? So then after the full day fast, did that for a while. And then next thing you know, it was 2, 3, and 4. You know what I mean? So I just gradually let my tolerance build up to where I can fast for longer periods of time. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I learned. You gotta start slow. You know what I mean? Because I'm bringing this up because I know somebody at my gig, we was talking about fasting and I was telling him the benefits of it and how long I've been fasting because I have been fasting for years. You know what I'm saying? For me, all I need is about 3-day fast or 4. It's like I feel like I'm in complete reset mode. Some people go 7. Like my brother be fasting for 7 days all day, all the time with water fast and like lemon water. And that fasting, it definitely strengthens you. But me, all I need is 3 days and I'm good. But like I said, the dude at my gig, I was talking to him about fasting and he was like, he wanted to start the tribe. He said he's gonna try to go 3 days like I do. I told him, I believe you can do it, but honestly, just listen to your body. You know what I'm saying? Me, if I was you, I would start with just some hours, or at least one day. If you want to do more than like 10, 12 hours, at least just do 1 day, just to see how your body react to it. But to make a long story short, he ended up making to at least 2 days, which that's cool for somebody that just started. But he was experiencing real bad headaches. And so that's why I said you gotta take your time with it, because in the beginning you will get headaches. You know what I'm saying? Because everything, if you're the type of person you constantly for years been consuming what we've been conditioned and taught to consume, which is the American diet, and y'all know what that consists of. Then when you go into fasting, especially a long fast, it's like a detox. So everything that's in you that's bad, it's gotta come out. So you're gonna break out, you're gonna get bumps, you're gonna get bad headaches, you might get nauseous, runs, whatever, you know what I mean? It all depends on the individual, but you're detoxing, you're getting all the impurities out. So it's very important that when you go back into a fast, you put clean things back in instead of like getting all the bad stuff out and then putting more bad stuff back in. Is backwards, counterproductive. But yeah, so start slow. That's the first thing. What's something else I learned? When you are fasting, you really want to try to conserve as much energy as possible. That's another thing, because especially like me, like when I fast, sometimes I'm at work, you know what I mean? And so I do a manual labor job. So during the times when because I catch milk, when I'm catching the milk off the line and stuff, when it slowed down, I make sure I slow down, you know what I mean? Because you need to conserve as much energy as possible. I make sure that when I get out from work, I'm not looking at TV, I'm going straight to sleep, you know what I mean? Go straight to sleep. And I still exercise, but it's very short. It's like a 10-15 minute exercise, just high intensity. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to use up all my energy before I got to go to work knowing I've been fasting. So that's another thing, conserve your energy. Another thing I've learned from fasting also. Okay, so when it comes to the headaches, like I said in the beginning, you're going to get them. But once you get used to fasting, you'll still get them, but you can do something to decrease the percentage of how severe the headache would be. At least it works for me. I don't know if it'll work for everybody else, but it works for me. So I learned that, like, say if I'm about to go on a fast today, right? Like, no, not today, but say if I'm about to go on a fast next week, I would make sure I eat nothing but nutrient-dense foods the whole week. I eat as clean as possible. You know what I mean? Just nutrient-dense foods, high electrical foods, you know what I'm saying? Just cellular foods. Really focus on feeding your cells, because it seems like, because like normally when I fast, when it gets to like day 2 or when 2.5, you know what I'm saying, I start getting headaches. You know what I'm saying? But they don't be as bad when I eat. I've been ate clean for a week or 2 before I actually go on my fast. Sometimes I don't get them at all. And sometimes they'll still be there, but they'll be very faint. It don't really be there. You know it's there, but it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? But when I used to eat, like, I still eat clean, but I would be eating a lot of cooked foods, and I would still be messing with the company kitchen, processed food, cookies and stuff. I noticed my headaches would be stronger. You know what I mean? It would be kind of hard to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I almost caved in and had to pop an ibuprofen. But when I fast, I try not to mess with no type of pills, nothing like that. I don't mess with pills that much anyway, unless it's something really serious. But for the most part, you just gotta breathe through it and just kind of massage your temples or wherever it is, you know. But the headaches is gonna come, you know what I'm saying? But that's one way I deal with it. It's like that. Another way I deal with it, because sometimes I do just dry fast. Sometimes I do like a water fast, where I'm just sipping a little bit of water. And sometimes I do teas. I'm just sipping tea. I do a tea in the morning and I do a tea in the afternoon. That's all I have the whole day. But sometimes what I do, if I'm just gonna do a sip on a little bit of water, and I'm doing like it's gonna be a long fast, 3-day fast. Every day that I'm fasting, I will take at least 1 scoop of sea moss, which is nasty. But I at least make sure I'm getting my vitamins, minerals, and nutrients in that way. So it's all kinds of ways you can do it, you know what I'm saying? But now, when it comes to the Most High's, his fast, like for the Day of Atonement, when we're fasting for 1 day, or if we do Purim, I think that's how you pronounce it. We're fasting for 3 days and 3 nights. I don't do none of that, because the scriptures tell us not to consume anything. I ain't gonna lie, on Purim sometimes I do sip a little water, though. So it can be challenged, you know what I'm saying? But it's something that you just have to build your tolerance of. It strengthens you, you know what I'm saying? I think it was something else. Oh yeah, another thing that you don't want to do when you come off of a fast, don't eat grease. Because I made the mistake of doing that in my earlier years of fast when I first got into it. Like, I went on, I think it was a 2 or 3 day fast. I think it was a 2-day fast. And you know, you just be so hungry. And so this is when I was still every now and then still dabbling with fast food a little bit. So I remember I came off my fast, I was at work. Went to McDonald's, got me a meal, fries and burger. Boy, smashed that bad boy. It was fire. But man, talking about a headache out this world, talking about extra sluggish, it was not cool. I mean, the headache lasted forever. So that's another thing I've learned that you don't want to do. You don't want to go right back into eating heavy when you come off a fast, because you're shocking the body. Hell, you're shocking the body when you don't eat. You know what I'm saying? So what I've learned, that what you want to do, what works for me, is when you break your fast, you want to eat things of simplicity. When I say things of simplicity, I mean things that the digestive system doesn't, it's not hard for it to break down. They're simple things. They break down very easy, like your melons, your berries, fruits, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, a lot of times what I do when I come off a fast, I like to make me a smoothie or a juice or something like that. And I drink that. And then the next thing I'll consume that day, it might be something that I'm eating, but you know, the way I am now, I'm more on the fruitarian tip, so it's always fruit, you know what I mean? Maybe an apple, some watermelon, something like that, you know what I mean? And if I do cook some, it might be some lentils or something. But the whole point is you want to eat things or consume things that are simplistic. That's not going to be harsh on the digestive system. You don't want to go back and eat hard. Cause see, that's what we've been conditioned and brought up to do too, is when we eat breakfast, because breakfast is just break fast. You breaking your fast because you've been sleeping for 8 hours, or how many hours you've been sleeping. You just breaking your fast. So we've been conditioned to consume pancakes, sausage, eggs, and all of that when we shouldn't be consuming that. I mean, not early like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff we shouldn't be eating anyway, but to each his own. But in the morning, it should be things that are easy on the digestive system. When you wake up, fruits, maybe a salad or something, you know what I mean? Okay, let me see. Let's see now what. So that's the do's and the don'ts. Let's talk about what I've learned, what fasting has taught me. Fasting has taught me that we don't need as much food as often as we've been taught. We don't need 3 meals a day. We really don't. You know what I mean? Maybe if somebody is going through a certain condition, I don't know. But for the most part, we do not need that type of that we don't need to eat that many times throughout the day. You know what I mean? It's taught me that 1 meal a day is definitely possible. Because if I can go 3 and 4 days without eating nothing, just sipping on some water every now and then, or three days just dry, no food, no water, nothing like that, I can definitely go. I can definitely eat 1 meal a day. So it's taught me that fasting has, it has strengthened my self-discipline and self-control as well. You know what I mean? It strengthens your self-discipline and self-control even more when you couple fasting with other things that require self-discipline and self-control. Like, for example, if you got somebody that fasts, that does intermittent fasting, that does prolonged fast, like for 2-3 days every now and then. Somebody, let's see, what's another one? Someone that pulled away from all meats and fast foods and stuff like that, and just really is more into the natural way of eating. And let's just say the individual also practices abstinence. He's celibate or semen retention. You know what I mean? When you have those 3 or 4 things coupled, you can just imagine how strong that would make an individual mentally. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, physically too, because it strengthens your willpower. You know what I mean? The ability to resist. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're afflicting your soul, when you're not eating. You know what I'm saying? And you're not laying down with nobody. So all that at the same time can really be powerful. You know what I mean? What else did I learn from fasting? It was something else I was going to mention. Fasting definitely draws you closer to the Most High, especially if your mindset is right. If you're doing it for the right reason, if you are really trying to draw closer to the Most High, you know what I'm saying, it can definitely bring you close to the Most High, because you got to think, when you are fasting for long periods of time, you're trying to keep your mind off of hunger. You ain't, you know what I mean, you lacking energy, you hungry, you know what I'm saying. The only one you can turn to is the Most High. That's why they say His word is the bread of life. You know what I'm saying? He says, the Most High speaks in His word, man should not live off of every, man should not live off of bread alone, but off of every word of the Most High. Man should not live off of bread alone, but off of every word of Yah, every word of Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? Now, somebody might argue and say, well, just because when you're hungry, if you're reading, you're taking your mind off the food, and that can be true in a way. But from my experiences, when I'm in Scripture, because when I fast, I really be in them Scriptures for real, because you definitely feel a shift. It does take your mind off of it, but to me, the hunger pain just goes away. I don't even call them hunger pains, because I feel like the only ones that can say they experience hunger pains is people that's homeless or that don't have nothing, that's really in poverty, that's hungry for real. So I haven't experienced hunger pains, but you know what I'm saying, brother, be hungry. But that must go away when I'm in them Scriptures for real, when I'm really reading. So that's just my personal opinion about that, though. Let's see. And as a matter of fact, we'll see in the Scriptures where our forefathers had to when it was fasting and prayer, how it helped them through certain situations that they were going through for guidance and stuff like that. But screen went dark. But yeah, so I think I've talked enough about the do's and the don'ts and the things that I've experienced through fasting. So let's go ahead and get into the scriptures, because I don't want this video to be too long, because I do got to go to work today. What time is it? Let me see something quick. Okay, it's almost 2 o'clock. So let's go ahead and get into the scriptures real quick. And also, it's a video that I hope I'm not going to forget to mention it, because I don't know how to put the links in my description yet. But it's a video that I'll mention on here of the benefits of fasting from a biological standpoint. It's a guy's video that I'm going to mention on here that you guys can go to, and it give you even better understanding on what happens within the body than what I'm going to tell you, you know what I'm saying? So you can actually watch the video. It's not even that long. But anyway, let's turn to the first scripture, and that's going to be the book of Yoshiyahu, which is Isaiah. Yoshiyahu is Hebrew for Isaiah, chapter 58. And we're going to read verses 6 through 11. We got some time to get there. Yoshiyahu, Isaiah. The early prophets. Where you at, Isaiah? There you go, 58. Trying to get me a workout in today too, as soon as I get done with these scripts. I know I ain't did no videos in a minute, man. I've been slipping, been lazy too. I ain't gonna front. I mean, some of it's me being lazy, but not all of it. You know what I'm saying? I be having other things going on, be preoccupied. All right. Chapter 58 of Isaiah, verse 6 through 11. Reads, okay, so where we at? 6. Okay, here we go. 58, chapter 58, verses 6 through 11. Verse 6 reads, "Surely this is the fast I choose, to break open the shackles of wickedness, to undo the bonds of justice, and to let the oppressed go free, and to annul all perversion." So I'm gonna stop there for a second. So you see what it said? It said to break the shackles of wickedness. So what does that mean? To break the shackles of wickedness means to break spiritual strongholds. So we already see right here that fasting can break spiritual strongholds. I've been through this personally in my life, where there were certain sins or unclean things that I was participating in that I had a hard time shaking. You know what I'm saying? But through fasting and prayer, I had to go into that. You know what I mean? And that actually really did help. You know what I mean? So to break spiritual strongholds, that's one way fasting is to be used. You know what I'm saying? All right, verse 7. "Surely you should break your bread for the hungry, and bring the moaning poor to your home. When you see a naked person, clothe him, and do not hide yourself from your kin." So we also see while you are fasting, you know what I mean? Because from experience, when you fast for long periods of time, not only do you get hungry, but you deal with agitation and frustration. People can get on your nerves real quick. You know what I'm saying? But he's saying here that when you're fasting, you may come across a situation where your kin, somebody that you know, might be in need of something. You know what I'm saying? For you to help them. It could be a situation, say, for example, say you have your cousin or your sister or whatever. They didn't pay all their bills, right? They didn't pay all their bills, and they was already behind. So they're doing what they can, but they don't really have any more money to put a decent amount of food in the house. So you help them out. I mean, that's a good example. So while you're fasting, even though you're hungry, even though you're dealing with irritation sometimes and stuff like that, headaches, if your kinsman, somebody that you know is struggling, still help them out. And let's see what happens. Let's see what it say happen when you do that. I lost my spot. Okay, hold on. Let's just read again. "Surely you should break your bread for the hungry, and bring the moaning poor to your home. When you see a naked person, clothe him, and do not hide yourself from your kin." Verse 8. "Then Your light will burst out like the dawn, and your healing will speedily sprout, and your righteous deed will precede you, and the glory of Yahuwah will gather you in. Then you will call, and Yahuwah will respond, and will cry out, and he will say, Here I am. If you remove from your midst perversion, finger pointing, and evil speech, and offer your soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then your light will shine even in the darkness, and your deepest gloom will be like the noon. So when you do that, when you fasting, you're trying to remove strongholds, or you know what I mean, and you're going through the headaches, you're going through the things that come with fasting, and someone of your kin, whoever, and you help them out when they're in time of need, it says, then your light will shine, and the Most High will remove what you're trying to get removed from you. So basically, when you are moving like that while you're fasting, still having a heart to help somebody, you know what I'm saying, that will make the Most High notice you even more. And it also says remove wickedness from you as well. I remember talking about that in one of my other videos. If you're going through things, I think it was about sickness and illness. When you are trying to heal, you got to repent, turn from your wicked ways, you know what I'm saying, and do the right, and start to move the right way. So it's the same thing here, you know what I'm saying? While you're fasting, when you trying to get rid of spiritual strongholds, make sure you're there for your people if needs be. I can't talk. Even though you're going through what you're going through with your headaches and everything, if someone in your family or one of your kinsmen needs you, still be willing to help them, because the Most High is going to help you. You know what I'm saying? So verse 11 reads, Then Yahuwah will guide your ways, satisfy your soul in times of drought, and strengthen your bones, and you will be like a well-watered garden and a spring of water, whose waters never fail. Ancient ruins will be rebuilt through you, and you will restore generations, old foundations, and they will call you repairer of the breach and restorer of paths for habitation. So that's the first example in the book of Isaiah. So the first example, we see fasting is our forefathers used fasting for breaking spiritual strongholds. You know what I mean? You see spiritual strongholds. That's a good example of one. So let's go to another one. Let's go to the book of Judges real quick, and we're going to read from chapter 20, verse 26. Judges. Deuteronomy, where you at? Judges chapter 20. Yeah. Okay, Judges chapter 20, verse 26. So before I read, I'm going to give you a little bit of background, so it can be in context so you see exactly what's going on. So there was a battle going on between Israel and Benjamin, right? And they fought 3 times. So the first time Israel and Benjamin fought, and as you see, they fighting their brother. By the way, how it's going on in real life, we still fighting our own people. But the first time Israel and Benjamin fought, Benjamin won. They they killed 22,000 of Israel's valiant men of war, soldiers, right? And then the second time they fought, they destroyed Israel again. They beat Israel again. And this time, Israel lost 18,000. So you have, 22 plus 18. So you got 40,000 soldiers that were destroyed. So now you got the third time. So you can only imagine what's going through their mind after those first 2. Like, okay, so we lost 22 the first time, and now we lost again, and then we lost 18,000. I don't want our people to keep on being killed out here. So instead of us making a decision on our own, let's take it to the Father. This is what's going to happen. So let's read. Verse 26 is called the second encounter. Wait, hold on. First, this is the third encounter actually. All the children of Yasharal and all the people went up and came to Bethel. Bethel is Hebrew for house of Elohim or Yahuwah or God. Bet is inside the house. What I'm saying, El represents mighty power, strength, strong leader. So that's house of God. All the children of Yasharal and all the people went up and came to Bethel, the house of God. They cried and remained there before Yahuwah, and they fasted on that day until evening. Then they brought up elevation offerings and peace offerings before Yahuwah. The children of Yasharal then inquired of Yahuwah. The ark of the covenant of Elohim was there in those days. And Phinehas, son of Eleazar, who was the son of Aharon, which is Aaron, ministered before it in those days, saying, should I go out again to make war against the children of Benjamin, my Ak, which is my brother, or should I withdraw? Yahuwah said, go up, for tomorrow I shall deliver them into your hand. So the first example of fasting, we see the fasting was done for breaking spiritual strongholds. In this example, we see that the fasting is done because they are searching for direction as to what should they do. Okay, so that's another example of our forefathers used the fasting was for finding direction from the Father. So let's go to another example. Let's go to the book of Jonah, chapter 3. We're going to read verses 1 through 10. I always have a problem finding Jonah, man, every single time. Let me see. Okay, I know where it is. I'm already getting close to it. Jonah, right there. Chapter 3 of Jonah, we're going to read verses 1 through 10. All right. Okay, so chapter 3, verse 1 reads, the word of Yahuwah came to Jonah a second time, saying, Quam, which means arise. Quam is Hebrew for rise. Go to Nineveh, the great city, and call out against her the proclamation that I tell you. So Jonah arose and went to Nineveh in accordance with Elohim's word. Now Nineveh was an enormously great city, a 3-day journey. Jonah commenced to enter the city, a distance of 1 day's journey. Then he called out and said, 40 days more and Nineveh shall be overturned. The people of Nineveh believed in Elohim. So they proclaimed the fast and donned sackcloth on their. They proclaimed the fast and donned sackcloth from their great to their small. So let's stop right here. So basically, Nineveh was told by Jonah, the prophet of the Most High, that y'all was about to be destroyed, and so because they believed in the Most High, and said they donned sackcloth on their head, put sackcloth on their head because they're afraid, you know what I'm saying? So now they're proclaiming the fast as well. Let's keep on reading though real quick. Okay, hold on. The people of Nineveh believed in Elohim, so they proclaimed the fast and donned sackcloth from their great to their small. The matter reached the king of Nineveh. He arose from his throne, removed his robe from upon himself, covered himself with sackcloth, and sat on the ashes, and had it promulgated, whatever that means. Promulgate, I can't even say the word. Had it promulgated and declared in Nineveh by the counsel of the king and his nobles, saying, the man and the animal, the herd and the flock shall not taste anything. So even the animals have to fast. So you know how serious this is. Shall not taste anything. They shall neither graze nor drink water. Both man and animal shall cover themselves with sackcloth, and they shall call out mightily to Elohim. Every man shall turn back from his evil way and from the robbery that is in their hands. So turn away from sin. He who knows shall repent, and Elohim will relent. He will turn away from his burning wrath so that we not perish, And Elohim saw their deeds, that they repented from their evil way, and Elohim relented concerning the evil he had said he would bring upon them, and he did not do it. So there's another example. So Nineveh, they were doing wicked things, of course. That's why the Most High was going to destroy them. And they turned from their ways. They proclaimed the fast because they out of fear. You know what I mean? The Most High, he didn't destroy it. You know what I mean? So we see fasting there also is used for when you are trying to repent and turn from your ways, and you're trying to get the Most High to overturn, if that's the right word, his decision to destroy you. You know what I mean? That's like me, I knew, because I've talked about this before, like I committed adultery many years ago, just being transparent, right? And I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I let my flesh guide me, right? And so I know what the punishment is for adultery. That's not just a slap on the hand, and I didn't get a slap on the hand, by the way, but I know that I still got to answer for that on Judgment Day. So what did I do? Did I continue living a life of adultery? No. I got out of it. You know what I'm saying? I turned from it. I repented from it. You know what I'm saying? Asked the Most High to forgive me. And hopefully he will. You feel me? I feel that he has, but you know what I mean? Only time is hell on Judgment Day. So, and that took fasting and praying as well. You know what I mean? So that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? If you show the Most High with a sincere heart that you want to change, you know what I'm saying? He'll forgive you for your sins. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no different than us as adults. You know what I'm saying? Your child do something that, you know, he had no business doing. It was just so disrespectful. Yeah, you gonna forgive him, but you still gonna give him that beat down. You might have to, but you still love him. He's still in the family. You don't kick him out of the family. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I don't want to go somewhere else. But so that's another example. So first example of why our forefathers were. First example of one of the ways that our forefathers fasted was through removing strongholds. Second example, what was it? Because looking for a direction. And this one is to get the Most High to not destroy you. You know what I'm saying? Showing repentance for the things you've done. So let's go. We got one more. We're going to go to the book of Esther, chapter 4 and verse 16. Yeah. Esther chapter 4, verse 16. Where you at? She's over here. There we go. Chapter 4, verse 16 of Esther. Chapter 4 of Esther, verse 16 reads, Go assemble all the Yahudim, which is the Jews, that are to be found in Shushan, and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day, and I with my maids will fast also. Thus I will come to the king, though it is unlawful. And if I perish, I perish. Mordecai then left and did exactly as Esther had commanded him. Okay, so first of all, this is the fast for Purim that I was talking about that we do for 3 days and 3 nights. It's in remembrance of our forefathers, what they had to go through. And I'm about to talk about what they had to go through to give you some context on exactly what's going on here. Let me see if I can remember for sure. So, you had a guy by the name of King Azarus. I think I'm saying his name right. Who had a guy up under him by the name of Haman, who he made to be over all the other officers, right? And everybody who was servant to or up under King Azarus and Haman, they bowed down, they prostrated to him, right? But Mordecai, who is the uncle of Esther, he didn't bow down. He didn't want to bow down, right? And Haman didn't like that. And Haman also didn't know that Mordecai was a Jew. He was a Yahudim, you know what I'm saying, the Jews, right? So he didn't like that he wasn't falling in line with like everybody else was. And so since he wasn't, he plotted and had some wrote up to destroy not just Mordecai, which is a Jew, but to destroy all the Jews in the province, in the area that was, you know what I'm saying, to destroy all the Jews basically. Include, they were gonna hang Mordecai on the gallows. Now I'm assuming they were gonna do the rest of the Jews the same way. So basically genocide of our people, right? And so Haman went and had everything wrote up, they had like documents, and then mailed them out just like how they would do now. But of course they were doing it this way, but they got the paperwork out and saying this is what's going to happen on this particular day. And Mordecai saw the paperwork, whatever, and it said that he lamented. He was on sackcloth on his head because now he's thinking like, what I've done is it's about to get all of us killed. All of us as Jews are going to die. It's going to be genocide. And so he tried to go talk to the king, but they wouldn't let him in because of the garments he had on or something. I can't remember what it was. Because since they wouldn't let him in, he sent message to Esther, his niece, as to what's going on, about how Haman is plotting to kill all the Yahudim because I basically didn't bow down to him. And you need to talk to the king, since you were the queen of the king, you know what I'm saying, King of Czars. And she responds with, because she sent her, I guess the officer that was watching over her, to go talk to Mordecai. And Mordecai told the officer what was going on, and he sent the officer back to Esther with the information. And she sends the officer back to Mordecai to tell him that if I go to King of Czars without permission, because what it is, it's law, you have to be summoned, I think within 30 days to even be able to talk to the king. And if you come up there and try to talk to him or show yourself without being summoned, you can die. And that's what she was telling Mordecai. But Mordecai wasn't trying to hear that. And like basically, like, I'm just going to paraphrase it. Like, I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? You need to go talk to him anyway. You know what I'm saying? Don't think for 1 second just because he doesn't know that you was you, because the king didn't know, the king or Haman, they don't even know that Esther is a Yahudi, that she's a Jew. You know what I mean? But he's like, don't think just because they don't know that you a Jew that destruction and judgment is not going to come to you as well. You know what I'm saying? If it comes to us, we'll get our peace a different way, which of course is in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? But destruction is going to come to you as well, because they destroyed all the Jews, and then you didn't speak up when it was time to speak up for your own people. So you're going to be a part of that judgment as well. And then so she basically responded to him saying, okay, this is what we'll do. This is what we was reading when he was saying, okay, I'll tell all the Jews to fast for 3 days and 3 nights, and I'm going to have my maids, my bridesmaids, do the same thing. I think it's bridesmaids. I'm going to have the ladies here with me fast for 3 days and 3 nights as well. And so because they did that, do I want to read what happened? Let me see something. You know what? I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to talk about it. So they fasted for 3 days and 3 nights, right? And to make the long story short, what ended up happening, it was overturned. It's like the script was flipped. So the gallows that Haman had set up for Mordecai and the rest of the Jews to be hung on, gallows are trees, if I'm correct. I think gallows is a tree. Basically, the destruction that he had set up and plotted for the Yahudim, it ended up happening to him instead, because when King Azarias heard through Esther that Haman was plotting to kill all the Jews and basically kill me and my people, you know what I'm saying, that upset King Azarias, and he hung him on the gallows. So what do we see? We see here that through fasting and prayer, it can get you out of situations that's dealing with your life. You know what I'm saying? You can have a wicked individual plotting to set a trap for you, but he following his own trap because you took it to the Most High. So You feel me? So we have 4 really good examples right there of our forefathers using fasting and prayer throughout the scriptures. So like I said, we got the first one, which is to remove spiritual strongholds. Number 2, we had fasting and prayer for direction from the Most High. Number 3, fasting and prayer to have the Most High return his wrath. Instead of destroying you, he allows you to live. And number 4, we have another one where wickedness, somebody wicked, is plotting to take your life or to set a trap for you. But through fasting and prayer, the enemy of the evil one falls in his own trap. So that's all the scriptures I have there. So now I'm going to read to you. I'm going to talk about some of the physical benefits of prolonged fasting, something that happens within the body. So one of the things that goes on when you fast for prolonged, and remember, prolonged fasting is always going to be better. Fasting period is good, you know what I mean? But prolonged fasting, if you really want to reset your mind, your body, and you really want to get that connection to the Most High, prolonged fasting really is what it is. And as long as you couple that prolonged fasting with drawing close to the Most High through studying the scriptures as well, you know what I mean, just doing things that are righteous, trying to move in a way that's acceptable to the Most High, you can really experience some benefits from fasting on a spiritual level. But let's just talk about what goes on physically. So, and what I wrote down, it's like from a 48-hour fast to a 72, so that's 3 days. Well, it says 2 and 3 days. Okay, so you regrow brain cells, you know what I'm saying, which improve your memory when you do prolonged fast. You know what I'm saying? You increase mitochondria, which basically it's basically your body gets more energy factors of the body. You know what I'm saying? You get more energy, so you increase mitochondria, so you get more energy. You start dealing with autophagy. Now what I wrote down, it says the cycling of old damaged proteins. This will build new tissue. So I'm gonna talk about a way that it was explained to me. So autophagy, what somebody was telling me, is when your cells start to consume your other cells. So let me explain, and I'm not saying I'm completely correct about this, because I don't even know if this, what I read about the recycling of old damaged proteins, I don't know if this is the same thing, but one thing that I've learned, that somebody that I was listening to a lecture, and it was saying that when your body goes through autophagy, it's when your body is like in supposedly the starvation mode. Because you know, when we eat food, our bodies poop out and pee out the things that it doesn't need. That's not good. But what we do need, the body stores it. The vitamins and nutrients, it stores all that in the body when you're eating it. It poops out the stuff that it doesn't need, right? So when the body is going through autophagy, when the body's going through that starvation mode, what happens is that the food, the stuff that was stored, the minerals, vitamins, whatever that was stored, your cells consume that. You know what I mean? Your body, even though cause it's been plenty of times where I go on a fast, right? And I still have to have a bowel movement or I have to urinate. Why is that? But I haven't eaten anything. I might sip a little water, but I haven't been eating anything. That's because, you know what I'm saying, either it's because your cells are still eating. You know what I'm saying? Your body feeds off of your body, from what it was explained to me. You know what I mean? Your cells consume, I guess, the stuff that was stored left over. And the way I look at it is, if that's the case, if my body is going to feed off the things that were stored, and what was stored was things from nutrient dense foods, you know what I'm saying? That's probably why my fasts go a lot smoother. I don't have really the bad headaches, because I was consuming things of high quality, versus if I was eating things that were greasy and just man-made processed stuff, it's going to still store what's good from that, but how much good from that can you compare to the good that would be for me eating nutrient-dense foods? Which would explain why I have headaches. I used to have headaches when I used to consume things that were bad during my fast or before my fast versus me. Like I said, a week before my fast, I'm eating nutrient-dense foods. So that's the way I know to understand it. Don't quote me on all that, but that's the way it was explained to me. But down here, what I wrote down, it was saying the recycling of old damaged proteins. This will build new tissue. So that's another benefit from prolonged fasting from a physical standpoint. Number 4, you enhance stem cell production, which makes you feel younger and feel more youthful. So it gives you that. I guess that you can point that to energy too. Yeah, it makes you feel young. You feel like you still got that vitality, that energy. So enhanced stem cell production. Number 5, fasting reduces inflammation. So that helps. So if you got soreness and stuff, you know what I'm saying, it decreases the soreness and any inflammation within the body. So you get that. You get fasting reduces inflammation, prolonged fasting. Number 6, decreases tumor growth. Number 7, it increases antioxidants. Now, if you don't know what antioxidants is, I'll explain it to you. Antioxidants are something that serve like as a defensive mechanism or a security system. You know what I'm saying? From what? From free radicals. Now, what are free radicals? Free radicals are something that damage your cells. You know what I'm saying? So free radicals cause cancer because that's what cancer is. It's a damaged cell that lacks oxygen. You know what I mean? So if you have increased antioxidants within the body, you know what I'm saying, that can strengthen the body against things that can invade or cause your cells to be damaged. So increase antioxidants. And last but not least, you got cell resistance to stress. Your cells become resistant to stress levels, I guess. So yeah. So there you have it. You have in our scriptures, our forefathers were fasting. They were fasting not just on the days of atonement, on the feast day, whatever day. I think it's the Day of Atonement in Purim. That's the only day we fast on. But I feel like there's another one. I just can't for sure. I'm not for sure, but they were fasting for other times too. And as we saw the examples of why they fasted, some reasons behind it. So as we can see, fasting is very beneficial on a spiritual level and a physical one. And it's been scientific studies. I wish I should have looked that up and showed that, but there's been scientific studies that shows that people that move their bodies and eat less, you know what I'm saying, they live a lot longer. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. Let's just talk about the moving part. When you exercise, and when I say exercise, I ain't talking about, you don't have to do strenuous exercise, just getting out walking, doing something to move. You just jump rope. I mean, if you don't want to really get into push-ups and pull-ups, just moving your body in some type of way to get that heart rate up a little bit. That causes blood flow. You know what I mean? I can see why that can cause longevity. Because proper blood flow you need that. You know what I mean? And then it said also eating less. People that, when you eat less, bro, you give your digestive system time to rest. You don't work it like a slave. We've been taught to work out our digestive systems like slaves, just like how they used to work our forefathers like slaves, work them to death. We've been programmed and taught to work our digestive system the same way, work it to death. Why do I say work it to death? Because when you eat, let's just talk about how we've been conditioned to eat, getting up in the morning, breakfast. So, and we've been conditioned to eat 3 times a day, right? Wake up in the morning, breakfast is ready. What you got down on the table? Pancakes, some biscuits and gravy, some eggs, bacon. You know what I'm saying? So you got sauce, you got one meat sausage, you got bacon, Yeah, it's only 2 meats. But you got all this stuff. That takes at least 8 hours. You should get at least 8 hours to break down, right? But we don't. Normally, I know when I was growing up, I would eat breakfast. And I would probably say, if I had to guess, I wait probably about 3-4 hours again, and then it's time to eat again. You know what I mean? We eating something else again, maybe snacking on something. It's because now you got lunch, right? So now you got lunch, it's more meat. Bread might be a sandwich and some chips or something, I don't know. But then after lunch, you got dinner. But the whole point is you ain't waiting 8 hours between every meal. So therefore, since you ain't working 8 hours, you're constantly overworking your digestive system. Let me paint a picture for you real quick. Let's just say this hand is the digestive system. We inside your stomach right now, right? This is the digestive system. And you got this hand right here that's dumping, that opens up to let all the food go in, right? So that's okay, bet. Here comes breakfast. He catches the breakfast. Okay, bet. I'm gonna go ahead and break all this down. I'm gonna get all this bacon, eggs, whatever broke down, right? 1 hour go by, 2 hour go by, 3 hours go by, 4, 5, and then here come going into the 5th hour. Here comes some more food. He's like, bro, I'm not even done breaking this food down. Why is you sending more food down? But all right, I'll deal with it. So he finishes breaking down the first meal. Then he go ahead and move on to the next meal. So he's on the next meal, breaking this down. This is lunch. 3 hours go by. 4 hours go by. Up, here comes some more food. Now he's like, bro, what are you doing, bro? I'm not done. Why you keep on sending food down here? And I'm not finished breaking this food down. You feel me? So now he just constantly keep doing the thing. So now he's still breaking the other meal down before he gets to the third meal, which was dinner. And before he even gets to the dinner, here comes some more snacks. You feel me? So now and this constant cycle constantly happens all the time. It never stops to the point the digestive system never has the opportunity to catch up to break down everything. And so if it never has the time to break down anything, and you're not taking the opportunity to pull away from eating, which would be sending food to your digestive system, your digestive system is going to be overworked. So it's going to end up shutting down. Now you're going to start dealing with illnesses and stuff, because in order for your body to heal anything, because our bodies naturally can heal things, the Most High made us that way. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say when your body needs to heal something that's in your body, a certain ailment, it can't get to it because it's too busy breaking down food. It got to get the food out the way first so it can get to the ailments. But it never gets to the ailments. So the ailments just get worse and worse. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I see why that scientific study, why they say that people that eat less and move their bodies live longer. You see what I'm saying? But that's a little short rant. But yeah. So that's going to be the end of this episode. What do you think about the scripture? I hope this was I almost forgot. Let me show y'all what video it is that y'all can look up to get a better understanding on the things that I was saying coming from the horse's mouth. All right, let me see what this video is called. I'm gonna show you on the screen what it looks like so you know exactly what to look for. Is this it? Yeah, this is it right here. It's called The Truth About Fasting, What Really Happens to the Body, Dr. Eric Berg, DC. The Truth About Fasting, What Really Happens to Your Body, by Dr. Eric, DC. He had 10 million views on this bad boy. Let me see, can y'all see that? It's this one right here. This dude with his mouth all open. That's crazy. That's what the thumbnail looks like. Right, that glare is crazy. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I knew how to put the links in there. I still don't know how to throw the links on my channel. So, but yeah, Look up that video. That's a really good video. And then what I like about the video is like while he's talking, he has a chart up in the back of him, like in the back, and it shows everything that happens within the body with fasting from 1 day, 2 days to 3 days. I think for 12 hours to 24 hours to 48 to 72 hours, basically. You know what I mean? It shows you exactly what goes on in the body. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good video for y'all to look at. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. What do you think about this scripture? Until next time, y'all. Shalom.